Mexico. And we're in Zapopan. As you can see, we're at the hospital. This is the second time I've been to this hospital. I am actually here because inside of the hospital is a fertility doctor, and they are called Instituto Vida. And I see a doctor there, Dr. Perez Luna. And as you probably know, I am not Mexican. I am from the United States. And so this is the second time I've come over here. The first time I did a stimulation cycle, trying to get some eggs. And you can see all that content. I'll link it below. This is our second time. We're doing IVF this time with a donor egg. So I'll give you much more details about that. Right now, I just want to show you the facility of the hospital and the clinic. So let's go. Go ahead, Drew. I'm going to follow you.
Walk back in?
Yeah, walk back in. So we're at the hospital. And that's one of the reasons why I actually chose this particular clinic, is because it is in a hospital. It's in a hospital and very easy to get to. Here it is. A couple steps inside. So for privacy reasons, that's the only footage that we took there. And now I'm just going to give you a review of where I'm at in my fertility journey and why it is that I chose the clinic that I chose, which was Instituto Vida, and why it is that I went to Mexico instead of staying in the U.S. As you can see, I've done other videos on like sperm donation and medications that I've used, but this video is just going to be about why I chose this clinic and why I decided to go to Mexico versus stay in the U.S. So you can check out those videos. I have a whole playlist called IVF in Mexico. They'll be linked somewhere around here. So I did a lot of research. There are a lot of options when it comes to going overseas for medical tourism for fertility. And of course, there are a lot of options here in the States, but it didn't take us long to realize that they were quite out of our price range. We did go to some fertility clinics that are local to us and do some procedures, but they didn't work. And ultimately, we were looking into IVF, and IVF was about $20,000 at these fertility clinics. So we decided that we would go to Mexico. Well, actually, we decided first that we were going to go. We were looking into Barbados, but COVID happened, and Barbados had these insane restrictions surrounding quarantining. Mexico did not have these restrictions, and we were going during the time of COVID. So we decided that Mexico was the place for us. And we're so glad we did, because we've ended up coming back a few times since then. As with any IVF journey, there's bound to be some bumps in the road, and we have had several. We've had failed cycles. We've had health problems that need to be addressed. We've created embryos that we have had to come back to retrieve. So we're really glad that we ended up in Mexico, because it afforded us the option to come back several times without breaking the bank. So we narrowed it down to two or three, a handful of clinics in Mexico. We interviewed with the clinics and made contact with the doctors over there, did initial consults with several clinics, and we ultimately decided on Instituto Vida in Guadalajara, or I believe there was Live in Puerto Vallarta. We have actually been to Puerto Vallarta since then and have a ton of videos on that, but we ended up deciding that we would go to Guadalajara because basically because the doctor spoke English, and I wasn't going to have any issues with translation, and because at the time it was being quoted as about $5,000 for an IVF procedure, which was an amazing price. At live at the time, I think it was about $775, and then in America, we had done consults, and they had been, $20,000. And these prices I'm quoting are with medication included. So if you're looking at cheaper places like CNY, then those medications are not included, and medications are usually very expensive. And also, we were being told it might take a year to see a doctor or to have the procedure, and we just didn't have that much time. We ultimately decided on Guadalajara. It is a large city, so we knew that we wouldn't have to struggle with our lack of Spanish as much. And we talked to the doctors. They were very nice, and they did consults. They also gave us their WhatsApp information, which is very handy. Plus, we'd get an awesome vacation out of it, which, has been amazing both times that we've been. So my doctor is the guy on the left, the big guy, but he is a teddy bear. He speaks excellent English. He's very world-traveled. He's very capable. I've learned so much about this fertility, about my own fertility and my own body from him. But he is very knowledgeable. I couldn't really ask for a better doctor. The whole team has been great. They try to keep me with someone that speaks English, so there's no translation issues. Dr. Perez Luna speaks excellent English. We have been twice now. We are aware that a fertility journey is something that could take a really long time. So we've actually been twice to Guadalajara to see Dr. Perez Luna, and we will be returning for a third time in a couple of weeks, because getting a 43-year-old woman pregnant is 100% about science. And because this fertility clinic is in a hospital, they do have access to cutting-edge science. I investigated the labs and the type of machines that they use before we came. Now, one thing Mexico doesn't do is require the publishing of their IVF results, live birth results, where in America they are supposed to require the publishing of live birth results. That can sometimes keep clinics from taking older or high-risk patients because it skews their numbers. The more failed IVF procedures they have, the worse their numbers look. So sometimes they just outright refuse to take those patients. And patients like me who are older are usually the ones that end up getting the shaft. And in fact, that is something we kept running up against here in America. Doctors really didn't want to do IVF procedures on me because the likelihood of me having a live birth was so low because of my age. Because they don't do those types of studies in Mexico, they had no problem seeing me. As long as I have the ability to pay, I'm still menstruating and can create a lining, and I am under 50, they were willing to do an IVF procedure on me. And of course, they run a bunch of tests on you and do labs, and they want you to be in good health and be able to carry a pregnancy to term. And so that is what we did. So if you've watched this far, you may have realized that this video is being made after the fact. And if you want to know how it all turned out, you'll have to watch my other videos. I have videos on creating embryos and my IVF process, the transfer, and all of that. And I'd really appreciate if you watch them. It does support me in this journey, and I need all the support I can get. So thank you. What I can say is that I cannot ask for a better doctor than Dr. Perez Luna. He's been there for me the whole way, and his whole team has been absolutely wonderful. He is a genuinely nice person, and it has been a joy to get to know him. I believe wholeheartedly that he is in this for the right reason. He is trying to help women see that their dreams come true, and him, along with his team, did everything that they possibly could do to see that this procedure was successful for me. He was there to answer my calls day and night, and he provided 100% better care than anybody in the United States ever has. And believe me, there was a lot of calls because I am a worrier. I can't speak for all of Mexico, but if you have any hesitation on whether medical tourism is right for you, specifically going to this hospital, which is Instituto Vida in Guadalajara, I would say absolutely do it. The price is so much cheaper than it is in the States, and the quality of care is so much higher. You will not regret it. So feel free to reach out to me in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If you'd like to support our fertility journey, you can donate to us on Cash App. I will leave a link up in the corner. It's Drew and Amanda 1, and also I will put our Venmo up here. Of course, if you have learned anything in this video or found anything of value, you could leave a like, and that would really help us as well. Watching our other videos from Mexico and from our fertility journey also helps. And if you've made it this far, I just want to sincerely thank you for watching. It really means the world to us. Because infertility in any capacity sucks, and longing for a child that you can't have is just heartbreaking. And if you find yourself in the same boat, please know that you are worthy, and don't give up on your dreams, because it is possible. You might literally have to go to another country to make it happen. But as they say, if you want something you've never had, you might have to do something you've never done. Good luck and tons of baby dust to you.